also wanted to leave you with some very, very quick ways that you can make yourself look better online tonight. These are all things you can literally do tonight in the next hour that we have at this workshop. All right. So number one is to include links in your bio. There are multiple spots for you to include links. One is the main link spot, so that's probably where you want to put your website. So I would recommend putting your Wix website in the link in your Twitter profile. But if you didn't know, you can also include multiple links. So maybe you want to include a link to your side project or your YouTube channel or the company where you work. You can include multiple links in the bio section as well as including one link in the main link section. Number two is to make your Twitter public. I've actually had people apply for the FindSpark internship where we say, you need to know how to use Twitter, and they'll include their Twitter profile and it'll be private. So I can't even see if they actually do know how to use Twitter. If you want to really, truly take advantage of the amazing networking power that is Twitter, make sure you're public. And on that note, I'm allowed to use one stock photo per presentation, so this is my one. We have a lot of people who ask us, should I have a personal and private Twitter, or personal and professional Twitter? Honestly, you're all really busy people. You're either in school or you're job hunting or you have a full-time job and you're freelancing. It's really hard to manage one Twitter account, let alone two. Twitter is this really great place where you can have a mix of personal and professional so that you can show employers that you're active in the industry, but that you also have a wonderful life. So I would encourage you all to condense, if you have two Twitter profiles, just into one and start including more professional tweets in it. Next is to include more @mentions. How do I get followers? How do I get people to notice me? Talk about other people. What is the first thing you usually do when you log on to any social media network? Anyone want to volunteer? What was that? No, not? There's something else? Stalk other people. Okay, that's one. What else? Check notifications. No one can deny that little red dot telling them that somebody said something about them, right? So everyone's human, everyone does that. So when you're tweeting an article from Mashable, instead of just writing the tweet and saying via Mashable, make it via the author. So the author gets that notification. You know, when you're at an event like this, @mention the speaker so they see your notification. You'll get more followers by giving more people what we like to say digital props online by including more @mentions in your tweets. So this is a super secret LinkedIn tip that not a lot of people know about. So in your LinkedIn profile, you have the option to include websites in your contact information. And by default, it says, call it my personal website or my blog and that sort of thing, which is a little annoying because sometimes I see people where their contact info has a link and it says my website, my blog, my portfolio, and I have no idea what I'm clicking out to. Well, by selecting other, you can actually title the name of your links so people know what they're about to click on. So you can call one my personal blog, you can call another my portfolio, you can call another my Wix site or my film reel, et cetera, et cetera. You always, again, want to make it as easy as possible for people to learn about you and to know what they're about to click on. Also, again, making it easy for people to contact you. There's a specific spot on LinkedIn where you can include your email address and make it public, but I also recommend putting it in your summary section as well, and just putting it right at the top, at the beginning, so again, when opportunities could potentially arise, that you make it easy for people to contact you. The next is to create a custom URL. So hopefully when you're applying for jobs, you include that basic contact info up top, but a great way to stand out is to also include your LinkedIn URL. And when you originally sign up to LinkedIn, it gives you this very long URL with a bunch of numbers and random letters and your name mixed in, which would look really ugly on a resume, especially a printed resume. So I highly recommend you go to FindSpark and look up how to create a custom LinkedIn URL, and we'll show you how. And that way you can include that URL nicely on your resume, on your Wix site, and anywhere else you're writing it out. Next is to max out your skills. So LinkedIn is essentially a giant search engine. So it's really important for you to be able to tell people what are your skill sets. And that includes soft skills and hard skills. So soft skills as in great networker, communications, that sort of thing, team builder, team player, all that good stuff. But to also include Photoshop, InDesign, graphic design, Final Cut Pro, all of that stuff. And so when recruiters are looking for people to hire, you're more likely to show up in their search results. And 50 might seem like a lot of skills, but there's a lot of similar ones out there, and the best thing to do is just look for people who are similar to you in their career paths and to people who have the jobs that you want and see what skills they use. This is my top #1 LinkedIn tip, which is to send a custom LinkedIn message always when you are connecting with someone online. People are so busy nowadays, they're meeting lots of folks all the time, and you'll really stand out and set yourself apart if you take the 30 extra seconds to write a nice note about how you met the person you're connecting with and that you'd just like to stay connected on LinkedIn. So never add somebody on LinkedIn through a mobile device, because it does not let you customize the message. So only add people when you're actually on your desktop. And again, make sure you send a quick message like, hey Ariel, it was great to meet you at the Wix event tonight, looking forward to staying in touch. And I guarantee you, you're way more likely to get those invites accepted if you take that 30 seconds to customize the message.